In the heart of ancient Egypt, where the sands of time whispered tales of gods and pharaohs, there existed a sacred text known as the Book of the Dead. This enigmatic collection of spells, hymns, and illustrations served as a guide for the deceased, aiding them in their perilous journey through the underworld and into the realm of the afterlife. The Book of the Dead, also known as the Book of Going Forth by Day, was a compilation of funerary texts that evolved over centuries, with its earliest versions dating back to the Old Kingdom period, 2686 to 2181 BCE. These texts were meticulously inscribed on papyrus scrolls, often adorned with intricate hieroglyphs and vibrant illustrations, and placed in the tombs of the deceased to accompany them on their eternal voyage. The structure of the Book of the Dead varied from one version to another, as it was not a standardized text. However, certain core elements remained consistent throughout its various iterations. These elements included 1. The opening chapters. These chapters served as an introduction to the Book of the Dead, invoking the gods and goddesses who held sway over the afterlife. They also contained spells and prayers to protect the deceased from the dangers that awaited them in the underworld. 2. The negative confessions. This section consisted of a series of declarations by the deceased, denying any wrongdoing or sins committed during their earthly life. These declarations were made before a panel of 42 divine judges, who weighed the heart of the deceased against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. 3. The Book of Gates. This section described the various gates that the deceased had to pass through in the underworld. Each gate was guarded by a fearsome deity, and the deceased had to recite specific spells and passwords to gain passage. 4. The Book of Caverns. This section depicted the various caverns and chambers that the deceased encountered in the underworld. Each cavern was associated with a particular god or goddess, and the deceased had to overcome various challenges and trials to progress through them. 5. The Book of the Dead. This section contained spells and incantations that were essential for the deceased to survive and thrive in the afterlife. These spells included instructions on how to breathe, eat, drink, and navigate the treacherous waters of the underworld. 6. The Book of the Amjuat. This section described the journey of the sun god Ra through the underworld during the night. The deceased was encouraged to identify with Ra and follow his path, ensuring their safe passage through the darkness. 7. The Book of the Heavenly Cow. This section depicted the goddess Hathor as a celestial cow who provided sustenance and protection to the deceased in the afterlife. 8. The concluding chapters. These chapters marked the end of the Book of the Dead and contained hymns and prayers praising the gods and goddesses who presided over the afterlife. They also expressed the hope that the deceased would find peace and eternal happiness in the realm of the dead. The Book of the Dead was not merely a collection of texts, it was a living testament to the ancient Egyptians' profound belief in the afterlife. It provided comfort and guidance to the deceased, assuring them that they were not alone in their journey through the underworld and that they would eventually reach the paradise of Aru, where they would live in eternal bliss. As the sands of time shifted and civilizations rose and fell, the Book of the Dead continued to be revered and copied, serving as a timeless reminder of the enduring human spirit and the quest for immortality. Its words echoed through the ages, carrying the hopes and dreams of countless individuals who sought to transcend the boundaries of life and death and find solace in the promise of an eternal afterlife.